else, and you have HSN on in the background, which is fine. I mean, I do the same thing. But please listen to the story that we're about to tell you about the Tanzanite. Tanzanite is one of the most rare and exotic and collectible gemstones on the face of the earth, bar none. I don't care what kind of money you're talking about. This is one of the most exotic gemstones in the world. And Tanzanite was only introduced here in the United States in 1967 by Tiffany & Company. They actually trademarked it. They christened it for the very gem-rich East African country, which is the only place in the entire world you can find Tanzanite. I mean, they've looked for it everywhere else. They've tried to find it elsewhere. They can't. It's only found in Tanzania. Well, what happened is, introduced here in 1967, and again, at that time, you had to buy it in Tiffany & Company. That was the only place that had it. About, I'm going to say 15 years ago, there was torrential downpours, flooding, the mines collapsed, a lot of the mines collapsed. It was a terrible thing. There were a lot of lives lost of the miners. Bottom line is, for all intents and purposes, there is very little mining going on compared to the way that they used to mine it. Every single time they mine Tanzanite today, and there's even just a little small area that they mine it now compared to what they used to, they're going deeper and deeper into the face of the earth. They're yielding fewer and fewer pieces of Tanzanite that look like this. What they're getting is what they're calling silver Tanzanite. Now, to me, that's not Tanzanite. This is Tanzanite. It's that distinctively different color of blue. But because everybody wants Tanzanite, they're marketing that silver Tanzanite. If you want textbook quality Tanzanite, if you want the Tanzanite that Gems and Jewelry, the buying guide, said could sell for who knows what, I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars per carat. This is probably 350 carats, maybe 400 carats. We did this at $299 and we sold it out 3 times at $299. Today, we've taken $100 off that price. It's under $40 on FlexPay, and we have the final few that will ever be presented here. The lowest appraised price. Now remember, we send these out. We have them independently appraised around the country. The lowest appraised price, and I tell you what, I mean, people would buy it all day if they could go into retail stores and buy this at $450. We sold it out at $299. We have almost 400 people on board. It's $199 today and under $40 to bring it home. But you own a huge, huge piece of gemstone history when you buy this, right, Jay?
You know, what and Connie's saying is, and what is so important on this, you know, this is the only time that I've ever, this particular design is the only Tanzanite design I've ever done in my career. And I've been doing this for 40 years. So if you think about it, in 40 years, this is the one and only time that I used Tanzanite. Just happened to be at the right place, right time. We got to buy. There's no way I can even repeat on this. We've got the last few that we have. When these are gone, they're gone. This won't come back, okay? You're not going to see it from me, let's put it that way. You know, it's very rare that you can buy Tanzanite rough. It's in this color. What Connie's saying is, it's amazing she's so knowledgeable in this. I mean, I'm not a Tanzanite guru, okay? But exactly what Connie's saying is exactly what it is right now. What you're seeing on the commercial market is what they're calling silver Tanzanite, which is almost like a platinum color.
It's like a see-through almost.
It's see-through. It's kind of sparkly, but but that's what they're getting. The lower that they're going now, they're losing the color. They're not getting this, and this is all a natural color. A lot of that material, I'm seeing it where they're doing enhancement processes and stuff. This is the real deal. The only reason it's not that I don't know about Tanzanite. It's not like I haven't seen it in my career. I never touched it because it was just out of my price range. I mean, you know, I have to be able to do things and sell them at a certain perceived value, at a certain value that you're going to get, and also a certain quality.
Sure.
And when I can't even buy the rough material and come close to that, I guarantee you, normally what we're selling just at the $299, what we're selling that at, and we had to really work hard to do it at that price. I couldn't even buy the rough material for that. So I would have more money in the rough than that. So no labor, no boxing, no shipping, no nothing. I still couldn't even do it at that price. So at that price, it was a phenomenal deal for us. Again, only time I've ever done Tanzanite.
Yeah.
I saw the rough material when I was in Tucson, and they're selling it for what I normally would have been able to buy it for. I mean, this necklace, I don't know where they're coming up, like, again, with the appraised value.
That's what I said. That's a good value.
Okay, you know, and that's the lowest. But to be honest with you, I couldn't even touch that.
Well,
I couldn't even touch what we're saying is the lowest retail. I couldn't even do it for that.
Because look at this. I mean, one of these stones, one of them, and look at that color too, by the way. That is premium color. If you took one of these and made a ring, it would sell for this price. So I've got to let you know, we are very busy, but I say this to you as my friend who shops with me every single day. If you ever in your life want to buy Tanzanite, if it is ever your desire to have Tanzanite, and again, one of the most rare, collectible, exotic gemstones ever. I mean, you think about it. It's only been around since 1967. Most gemstones, a lot of gemstones, have dated back from the days of the Bible. I mean, the garnet was mentioned in Noah's Ark. I mean, this has been around since 1967, and yet experts are saying that within our lifetime, this could be completely exhausted from the face of the earth. And, you know, I always tell the story when I talk about Tanzanite, because I have a good friend who's in the industry, and he had a friend, that friend's grandmother had passed away, and the gentleman had inherited his grandmother's estate. And so he went to my friend who's been in the industry. He said, something's wrong. He goes, I got a ring out of my grandmother's estate. He goes, and I took it and I had it appraised, and they appraised it for $25,000. He said, my grandmother wouldn't have had a $25,000 ring. She couldn't have afforded a $25,000 ring. And he goes, there has to be a mistake. Well, my friend said, what is it? He brought it into him. It was an Alexandrite. Now, when his grandmother would have bought that ring, or somebody would have given it to her. I think it actually turned out to be a gift or something. But anyway, it would have probably been a $300, $400 ring. But because back at that time, Alexandrite was plentiful. I mean, you could buy Alexandrite. You could buy it for a few $100s. Well, the same thing, probably even more, is going to happen with Tanzanite, because you can find Alexandrite in a couple of different places. With this, it is a one-source gemstone. So imagine when it is gone, what the prices will be. I mean, just imagine. This will be tomorrow's Alexandrite times 20 million maybe. We are doing this for you right now at $199. We are crazy busy. And again, I just got to tell you, if you want to own a piece of gemstone history, a small window from 1967 until now that they've mined the stone, and you have it in hundreds of carats at under $40. We have hundreds of you waiting. You'll get it if you're online when it's gone.